A choppy day for shares of Nvidia. I'm Lisa Bernhard with Reuters, and here to talk about that and a lot more is Liz Miller of Summit Place Financial Advisors. Liz, we saw Nvidia this morning up about 3.8%. Now we're a couple of hours away from the market close and shares are down more than 2.5%. What do you think is going on?
I think all we're seeing is profit taking in the big tech. I mean, the story for Nvidia we know hasn't changed. And in fact, some of the AI headlines of the last couple of days just kind of confirm this is a real trend. And we know Nvidia is the shovels to the gold rush. Eventually, everyone will have a shovel, but we're nowhere close to there. So what I think we're seeing is more market dynamics. And I think one of the things to keep in mind is that the surge in Nvidia has been so fast that we have a lot of investors who are not institutional. You know, all the retail investors are really dealing with tax effects here too. So I think we'll see some of these pullbacks sometimes at various times when gains are hitting long-term gains. You know, the last great time to buy Nvidia sort of was December 22. A lot of people may have been buying into early 23. We may be starting to see positions get into long-term tax gains. So I'm not surprised to see a little bit of trading up and down here. I don't think it's the start of a 20% pullback. But I think we've seen such a move with the major tech. It's not surprising to see a little bit of trading around.
So this comes just 2 days after Nvidia passed Microsoft as the world's most valuable company. So you're saying you don't even see this as being a sort of temporary halt to its meteoric rise?
I think it certainly could be temporary, but then Apple and Microsoft's move could be temporary as well. Let's not forget it. They haven't matched Nvidia, but they've had a tremendous strength, you know, over the past 12 months and all year to date as well. So we do know we've got, you know, real leadership in a small group of tech stocks. So it's not surprising at all to see them take a breather, and we may see them go sideways for the summer. For me as a portfolio manager, that would be the healthiest sign in this market. If I could see these stocks just consolidate for 3 months straight, I think that would be fantastic.
That's interesting. You know, this move from Nvidia comes a day after Elon Musk tweeted that Nvidia's partners, Dell and Supermicro Computer, were contributing server parts to his AI startup that have Nvidia chips in them. And those stocks were up today, and they have also reversed course. So that's interesting to me as well. I mean, do you have any thoughts on why those two also went the other way?
Well, Supermicro certainly has had the same kind of run almost as well, and in some timeframes better than Nvidia. So it's been the real, you know, it started as a micro cap in some ways, you would say, by today's standards, and has had a meteoric run. So I do think that it's just general profit taking across the tech sector. And remember, we're a few days from the end of the quarter. I'm sure that institutional managers are rebalancing portfolios. I'm sure some are dressing up portfolios. So we've always got that tension going on in the last week or so into June 30.
The S&P and the NASDAQ have been on such a tear lately. Do you at all, though, see us ready for a pullback?
You know, the market indices seem so strong this year. We're asked all the time, aren't we due for a pullback? But what we look at internally is we've really been taking it apart at, you know, the sector level as well as the stock level. And I'm going all the way back to the bottom in 2022 to see what's going on. And here's what you need to keep in mind, the beginning of 2022, where we had that large decline. We have a few tech stocks that have really soared over that time frame, but it is incredible how many stocks in the S&P 500, something like well over 400, are still today at levels lower than they were before the start of 2022, meaning they haven't taken out that summer 21 high before inflation kicked in and we had this broad pullback with rates in the market. So if you ask me, what do I think of a market that has essentially gone sideways for 2 years? I'm not worried about that at all. I think there are some leadership names. I think there's reasons for some of that leadership. And as we just talked about, maybe there's some profit taking going on there, but there's so much of the broader market that is perfectly healthy and I think has plenty to catch up and still go. And that will sort of be the second leg of this ongoing bull market.